Hello, fellow time travelers. I'm Tony Whitt with the Doctor Who Target Book Club podcast, the podcast in which we undertake the insert adjective here task of discussing in story order all of the Doctor Who novelizations. I'm joined by
Dalton Hughes
and by
Alison Fitz-Seyfried,
and we record our episodes twice a month. You're listening to the Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. Enjoy your travels.
Say who is Doctor Who? Where is he from? What does he do? They wonder who is Doctor Who? So I ask you, who's Doctor Who?
Welcome back to the Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. I am Larry Van Mersbergen, your host, and I've been collecting Doctor Who since 1981. In 1985, I had this idea to start a Doctor Who store that I called Bundles from Britain in Chicago. After visiting the many companions of Doctor Who fan club, I gained a very important partner, and the business was given a great boost. Many years later, I discovered that it was an important part of Doctor Who history in America. Bundles from Britain is mentioned in a great book that should be on every Doctor Who fan's shelf. It's called Red, White, and Who, The Story of Doctor Who in America. You can get this book from ATB Publishing. And Bundles from Britain lives on page 384 as part of Doctor Who history. It is now less than a month from the largest Doctor Who event in the Midwest, the Chicago TARDIS Convention, now in its 20th year, and I do have exciting news. I will be doing a live podcast recording at Chicago TARDIS. Come and be a part of the experience. I will be asking audience members their collection stories and their most prized collectible. Bring it along to show to the crowd. I will also be moderating a panel on Doctor Who collecting, and I will be showcasing many items from the famous Who Room here in Aurora, Illinois. It contains the Doctor Who collection I've been keeping since 1981 with many gems. Guests at Chicago TARDIS now include Paul McGann and Sylvester McCoy, also Tosin Cole, who plays Ryan Sinclair with Jodie Whittaker, Arthur Darvill, Katie Manning, Richard Franklin, Louise Jameson, John Leeson, Fraser Hines, Richard Ashton, Greg Austin, Emma Campbell-Jones, she was Cass from The Night of the Doctor with Paul McGann, Ryan Carnes, who had a big role in Daleks in Manhattan, Jason Hay-Hillary, the head of Big Finish Productions, Sophie Hawkins and Vivian Opera from the Class Doctor Who spinoff, author David J. Howe, artist Christopher Jones, writer and good friend of mine Tony Lee, also Edward Russell, Samantha Stone, Edward Russell again, I must have had him twice, he was that important, and Rhiannon Starbuck. Tickets are still available for one-day passes and some reserved memberships at chicagotardis.com. I was hoping at the time of this recording that I would have the time and location and date for the live podcast recording, but that schedule is a little behind schedule for the folks at Chicago TARDIS. They're working very hard to get that schedule out. So as soon as it's announced, I will post it on all of our social media and our website. Another podcast I would like to give great mention to is the Target Book Club podcast, hosted by Tony Whitt and also available on iTunes. I have been a guest on their program a few times, including when we talked about The Mind of Evil and The Day of the Daleks. They will also be doing a live podcast recording at Chicago TARDIS at usually a room party late at night. Details on that will be on our website as well. Our theme song is Who's Doctor Who by Barry Mason and Les Reed, performed by Fraser Hines, who played Jamie McCrimmon in 113 Doctor Who episodes. He's the longest-running character and friend of the podcast and a guest at Chicago TARDIS this year. Consider becoming a friend of the podcast. Publishing a podcast is expensive, and I hope you can help us out with a $5 subscription at our Patreon page at patreon.com/Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. I thank all my patrons, and you can also subscribe to us on Podbean. Go to podbean.com and use the search bar to find the Doctor Who Collectors Podcast. We are also a very proud member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance. Check out the best Doctor Who podcasts, including Radio Free Skaro, at drwhopodcastalliance.org.
Sad, really, isn't it? People spend all that time making nice things, and other people come along and break them.
Collection protection. I do have a rare item in the Who Room, which is something I will be bringing to my collecting panel at Chicago TARDIS. It's the Doctor Who Give a Show projector from Chad Valley. It comes with a lot of color slides and a projector. Sadly, the projector no longer works, and I'm still looking for a working model to show the slides. Anyway, the box is very large and 50 years old or more. Sorry, my math's a little off. It's a little older than that. Anyway, protecting it, I had to turn to a different idea. Bags Unlimited doesn't make a bag that large. Plus, the bag would be probably not very helpful in protecting the box. But I have found a solution. It's the same problem with larger items in boxes or board games. I have found a place called Really Useful Products. They make plastic protective boxes that fit those larger collectibles. I found the perfect box that fits the Give a Show projector box perfectly. You can find them at www.reallyusefulproducts.co.uk/USA. They have a USA store. The box I got was around $20, and the box closes and locks to keep the item from moving around. I highly recommend it. They are not a sponsor, just my educated opinion. If you have any collection protection stories or advice on how to protect your valuable Doctor Who collectibles, please write to us on Facebook or Twitter. You can use the @DoctorWhoCollectorsPodcast, or you can email us directly at drwhocollectorspodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget, our website has a message portal at drwhocollectors.com.
Up there is the scanner, those are the doors, that is a chair with a panda on it. Sheer poetry, dear boy.
Our main story tonight is the October merchandise roundup. Since the podcast has started, we haven't done much as far as new releases, and so it would be impossible and would take many, many episodes to cover everything that was released in October. So I decided to summarize with some of the most, with the highlights. And so a lot of Doctor Who merchandise was released, and so this month, I want to cover the highlights that what is available out there to you collectibles. I'm going to start with toys and games that were released in the month of October. And the first thing we want to start with is the Doctor Who Set of 6 Sonic Screwdriver Collection. It's an Amazon exclusive. Doctor Who has carried many Sonic screwdrivers from the second Doctor on up. Various designs included. So I actually have one of these in the Who Room. It includes 6 of the most iconic sonic screwdrivers ever featured in the series. It does not include the second Doctor's sonic screwdriver. That was a very simple device, and you will see it for the first time. And I will mention that in a later part of the broadcast. It includes the replicas of the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th/8th, 10th, and 11th Doctor's sonic screwdrivers, featuring a variety of sound and light effects. Perfect for all Doctor Who fans, and the cost is £69.99 as of this taping. I believe you can get it on the Amazon USA site. I did not look up a price for that. And also available, the NYCC 2019 Kawaii Kerblam 3 13th Doctor is available exclusively from ForbiddenPlanet.com. It is a Titan Entertainment is proud to present the latest in their series, the 13th Doctor. Show us as she looked in the episode Kerblam. The cost is £7.99. Unfortunately, I have no shipping information to the USA. It's highly limited and highly collectible. Also from Titan, they also have the 2019 Titan Classic Rosa 13th Doctor, available from ForbiddenPlanet.com. Another in the exciting and limited edition, the 13th Doctor Classic, debuting the 13th Doctor as she appeared in the 3rd episode of Rosa, at the same cost of £7.99. Also, the available online from the Tim Shaw Pop figure is available to order online at www.emp.co.uk. Also available from amazon.co.uk and amazon.de. The Pop is available in some forbidden international stores with no online sales. It's available exclusively in the USA from hottopic.com. That's HOTTOPIC.com. Tim Shaw, soon to be leader of the Stenza Warrior race, conquers the 9 systems. Tim Shaw is here ready to wreak havoc from Doctor Who. He has been given a Funko Pop makeover. The cost is £15.99, and that price can vary depending on the vendor. Moving on to video releases, I mentioned earlier the second Doctor's sonic screwdriver, not included in the famous set. However, it appeared in a story called Fury from the Deep, and sadly, that episode is completely missing from the BBC archive. But what's really exciting is it's the next story to be animated. So the Fury from the Deep Steelbook, DVD, and Blu-ray release will be available from pre-order from amazon.co.uk or zoom.co.uk. Now, a note to USA listeners, the Fury from the Deep Steelbook Blu-ray is region-free, so you can play it on USA players. So that's where I placed the order for mine. Be careful, the DVD release is PAL only, and it will not play on United States players. BBC Studios is pleased to announce that Fury from the Deep will be released in 2020. It will follow the release of The Faceless Ones, announced earlier this year, and fills another gap in missing Doctor Who content. Following the success of existing animations, including Power of the Daleks, Shada, and the Makra Terror, Fury from the Deep will be released on DVD, Blu-ray, and an exclusive steelbook. Fury from the Deep is the missing 6th serial of the 5th season of Doctor Who, which was broadcast in 6 parts from March to April 1968, featuring Patrick Troughton as the Doctor. No full episodes of the story, I should say, exist in the archives, only snippets and footage and still images. However, off-air recordings of the soundtrack exists, making the animation of a complete serial possible. It will be made in color, in the original black and white, and in high definition. The release will include the surviving clips. It also stars Fraser Hines as Jimmy McCrimmon and Deborah Watling, the late Deborah Watling as Victoria Waterfield. The steelbook will cost £28.99, and unfortunately the DVD and Blu-ray have not yet been announced for the US. The steelbook is region-free, as I mentioned before. So keep an eye on Amazon for the US release, and also our Facebook page. We will post it when it is announced. Books. Doctor Who books. Lots of books were published. Doctor Who and the Pirate Planet paperback. This is a very important release. As many of you know who collect the Target books, this is one of the books that was never published on the Target imprint. It's currently available to order from amazon.co.uk and amazon.com. It's the classic Doctor Who adventure by Douglas Adams. And I won't read the story summary. If you're aware of the Key to Time series, then you know the Pirate Planet is by far one of the funniest episodes I've seen, featuring the Captain and Mr. Fibuli and all that wonderful stuff that Douglas Adams wrote. But definitely this would complete your Doctor Who run for that season. Next, I want to talk about a very important book release, Doctor Who, the Target Storybook hardcover. It is the only hardcover edition using the Target imprint. If you remember that the hardcover editions of the traditional stories that were released in the 70s and 80s used the imprint of the parent publisher, whether it was Allen Wingate, W.H. Allen, or Longbow. The Target imprint was reserved exclusively for the paperbacks. So this hardcover edition is Target. So important for you Target collectors and you hardcover collectors as well. It's available right now. We have a copy here. It's available to order in the USA from Amazon.com and from Amazon Canada. We're All Stories in the End, a brilliant new collection of spin-off stories from famous episodes throughout the history of Doctor Who, and a new format for the successful Target publishing range. In this exciting collection, you'll find all new stories spinning off from some of your favorite Doctor Who moments across the history of the series. Learn what happened next, what went on before, what occurred off-screen in an inventive selection of sequels, side trips, foreshadowings, and first-hand accounts. And also look forward in time with a brand new adventure for the 13th Doctor. A great book for fans of the old series, the new series, or both. The Target storybook was published on October 24th, and it was priced at $20.26 on Amazon.com. The next book I want to talk about is a series called Lethbridge Stewart, The Shadow Man by Sharon Bidwell, which is available to order from candy-jar.co.uk. A new Lethbridge Stewart novel, a new reality to explore. Anne Travers, a co-founder of UNIT, and her husband Bill are celebrating their wedding anniversary in France, which is the perfect opportunity for Anne to catch up with old friend Madeline Bonner. At the institute owned by Madeline's father, one professor is more interested in his own project than any work for which Bonner had hired him. His need for secrecy and his attitude irritates his assistant, who would prefer to dwell on his feelings for Madeline. So if you want to find out what happens next, you'll have to get the book. The Shadow Man is due out any time now and can be pre-ordered or as part of the Bloodlines bundle. You can get this at Candy Jar Books for £8.99 plus shipping, and I believe you can have it sent to the United States. And from Telos Publishing, we have Syl and the Devil Scenes of Aurador paperback, available from amazon.co.uk or directly from telos.co.uk. If you remember Syl from the Sixth Doctor adventures, it's another adventure based on him. It's a spin-off from the 1985 adventure Vengeance on Veros and the 1986's Trial of a Time Lord parts 5 through 8. All characters were used by permission. The book has not been licensed or approved by the BBC. It is an A-format paperback release, sized and fit in with the Target Doctor Who novelizations, and it includes retro art by Andrew Mark Thompson and includes an 8-page full-color section of photographs for the making of Syl and the Devil Seeds of Aurador. It's written by Philip Martin. It'll be available on Amazon for about £12.99, and they're limited. Next, we have the unabridged audiobook from BBC Books called Doctor Who and the Smugglers. It is now available for pre-order and is expected to ship July 2nd, 2020. More information coming soon, or you can place a pre-order for £17.60 at amazon.co.uk plus shipping. No image is added for this release yet, and I will put it up on the gallery when it is. You can visit our website for a complete gallery of collectibles, as well as our Facebook page, and it's at drwhocollectors.com. On to magazines. The Doctor Who magazine, of course, comes out monthly, and we don't need to spend a lot of time with that, but the Figurine Collection magazine companion Set 7 for the 13th Doctor is available to order at a later date from the shop.eaglemoss.com or available in the USA from bigbadtoystore.com. A new series from the Doctor Who figurine collection featuring the Time Lord's most memorable companions, collected for the first time. The 13th Doctor with Ryan, Yaz, and Graham. In the U.S., it will cost you $69.99 plus shipping. Also from Eagle Moss, for your classic fans, especially you Doctor Who fans, your fourth Doctor Who fans, the Doctor Who figurine collection issue 166, Magnus Greel from the Talons of Weng Chiang. It'll be available in the UK when released from shop.eaglemoss.com, not yet available in the USA at the time of this taping. Magnus Greel, of course, one of the villains from the Fourth Doctor, and the Doctor Who Companion, the 12th Doctor, Volume 2. Doctor Who magazine continues its in-depth chronicle of the show's production with a 100-page volume dedicated to 4 memorable episodes of Season 8, starring Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman as Clara Oswald. So they will talk about Time Heist, The Caretaker, Kill the Moon, Mummy on the Orient Express. Behind-the-scenes coverage, the complete history, illustrated with rare images. It's available from W.H. Smith and is priced at £7.99 or digitally from pocketmags.com at £6.99. I don't give the USA prices as those prices fluctuate daily. Please note that if you are a subscriber to Doctor Who magazine, this is not included with your subscription. but it might be available at some book outlets. Sometimes Barnes & Noble gets them, or other bookstores carry them in the United States. Doctor Who Magazine issue 544 is the anniversary magazine. So that's the one. Some great stuff, including a newly unpublished interview with the late Terrence Dix. All right. And basically that leaves us with odds and ends, which are things that don't fall into a particular category. The Doctor Who mug, Reverse the Polarity, which is at forbiddenplanet.com. Experience one of the most oft-quoted lines of Doctor Who in mind-bending 3D. It's available only from Forbidden Planet. It is currently unavailable, but it was priced at £7.99. Also from Forbidden Planet, the Doctor Who Travel Pass holder, Reverse the Polarity. You can see the image on our website or on our Facebook page. That one is also available for order now at forbiddenplanet.com at £2.99. Also, GB posters, we have the Doctor Who TARDIS gift box set. I'm usually not impressed with the gift box sets, but first, it does include a mug that says, "Trust me, I'm the Doctor," a premium large TARDIS glass, and 2 Doctor Who coasters. It's available from gbposters.com at a price of £19.99. And finally, the Doctor Who Cobble Hill Jigsaw Puzzle, available from the US at www.fun.com, and available also from Amazon and direct from cobblehillpuzzles.com. International sellers can check for it at ebay.co.uk. Relive the Time Lord's transformation as he travels in the TARDIS through the universe. 1 TARDIS, 13 Doctors, and 1,000 pieces to be enjoyed in this Doctor Who puzzle. The price in the United States is $24.99. That concludes the Roundup, which I will do again at the end of November after our Chicago TARDIS episode. Time to move.
Is this some sort of joke? No, I refuse to be treated it. What are you doing? Oh, stop! You're making me giddy. No, you can't do this to me. No.
To the most outrageous offer. And once again, our most outrageous offer is a bookseller who lists on the Abe's Used Book sites. And I found a book. It's a book that was released in 2008 called The Quality of Leadership, which is a Doctor Who Short Trips number 24 by Keith R.A. DiCandido. I believe the list price of this book was $13.99, but the bookseller here, if I can find it here, sold by HPB Incorporated as used good. The asking price is $1,183.05. That's a bit much. I say this every episode. It's just crazy to me that somebody would charge that much money for a book. Now, I get it if it's a different type of collectible, but I'm looking at, they don't have any custom reviews, but it's just ridiculous. Now, I found another site that actually had the book for a little bit more money. $1,500 from within the United States. It just doesn't say who the it is Glass Frog Books in Hawthorne, California. So I think you can avoid them as well. Same book. I went further and I took a look on eBay, and there's a copy of the same book on eBay for $125. So we're getting closer. And that's it's just crazy. But anyway, that's, if you can find that book for a lower price, please let me know. And you can find out, give us an email at drwhocollectorspodcast@gmail.com. And that's our outrageous offer. So again, use your common sense when looking at something that's highly priced. Can you find it somewhere else? Don't just shop in one place. Shop around. Well, that concludes our our October Roundup. Thank you for listening. And please rate, review, and subscribe. I do take comments seriously, and if you want to hear something specific, we've had a few people request shows, and I'm more than happy to do my research. Our final audio clip is going to be a clip from the upcoming animated release of Fury from the Deep, featuring Fraser Hines, the late Deborah Watling, and Patrick Troughton. So, our next episode will probably be the Chicago TARDIS episode, so we look forward to seeing you there. I will maybe put out a mini-sode to announce the date and time of the live podcast, and we hope to see you. Please say hello at Chicago TARDIS. Until then, keep collecting.
You're not tired?
No. No, I'm fine. Not tired at all.
Do you know what the doctor's just gone and done? He's only gone down to the beach for a swim. It gets worse. You're still not sure, are you?
Yes. But it doesn't make it any easier, leaving you and the doctor.
We've been together a long time now. Has the doctor said anything to you?
No. You know what he's like. He wouldn't. He believes in people making up their own minds.
Victoria, do you think you'll be happy here?
Oh, I think so. The Harrises are very nice people.
Yes, I know that, but they're not from your time, are they?
I wouldn't be at ease back in Victorian times. I had no parents or family left there anyway.
That's true. Oh.
Jamie.
Yes?
You wouldn't go without saying goodbye, would you?
Of course not. That won't be till the morning anyway. Good night, Victoria.
Good night, Jamie.